Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his second season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked a team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the second time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. Second straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before. Blue there. Blue there.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end.
You're not going anywhere, man. What are you doing?
And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
You can say a lot of things about the great play of Kiko Alonso, but the number one thing you will say, he will hit you.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Go. Go.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
You ready? You ready?
On play action, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Drew Brees as he comes out onto the field, the 40-year-old quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He'll turn 41 in January, by the way. He already is the NFL's all-time passing yards leader. He could be the all-time NFL passing touchdowns leader at the end of this season, but he's got some competition. It's been Peyton Manning's record since 2015, but right now it's Brees and Tom Brady dueling to see who will have the top mark as we exit the 2019 season. Fun to watch down the stretch. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. Taking it about the 16. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back, but there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar, but top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Cousins now. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
First down, Vikings.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Saints, nothing.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Break the hunt.
I got you.
On 2nd down now. It's Cook, and he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's able to find Diggs. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
From the red zone now, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Cousins to throw it. Completes it to the fullback Ham. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, it's Cousins. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They go play action here on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To throw, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bailey's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me there, partner.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Yellow waiting. Hey, come on now, come on now.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Right there in the middle, 55. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Looking to throw again on second down. Breeze again has it complete. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Breeze again. Well, this is caught by Ginn. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Well, again, they'll throw with Breeze. That is incomplete.
Throwaway and incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Coming this way, here we go.
Breeze to throw again. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock, so it wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect, but the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Brees was out. 5-0.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Breeze on the bootleg. And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. Shamar Stephen coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. And he was plus 5 seconds there with a football. Is there a time that a quarterback has to get rid of it?
Somewhere generally around 3 seconds. So just like we're playing in our turkey bowl, right, in our backyards, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, that ball better be gone because anything past that, that's usually the end result.
Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check back, check back.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's put him on the let's put that team on the bus.
To throw, it's Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Play fake. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Break shot. Ready. 54 miles. Coming.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And they're going to go with a jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Bandit. Bandit.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. First target, first catch at a first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Cousins now. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They go play action. Cousins. And this is incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 53. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
So Breeze and the Saints down by 16. A little under 2.5 to go. They've yet to score all game long, but now they need to do so twice in short order to have a shot. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Throwing now is Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target of the 2nd half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Breeze. He's got Smith here. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That one goes for 24 yards. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That's going to be caught. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Breeze going to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for 2. Breeze to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now out comes Minnesota. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Mike, 180! 65! 65! 65!
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here it comes, here it comes.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but I
like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next